Hello everyone. Let me back this camera up off of me just a little bit. How is everyone today on this President's Day? For those of you who did not have to go to work, I hope you enjoyed your day off. For those of us who did have to go to work, I hope that you are home relaxing now and enjoying your quiet time. Hi Karen. Hi Tammy. How are you? Hi Carrie. I know I'm a couple of minutes early, but I wanted to come on and I got lipstick on my teeth, sorry. I wanted to come on and tell you all about tonight's show. It's about giving back. Nannies giving back. Nannies paying it forward. Hi Melissa, how are you? And I have a fundraiser going on now. Actually two. One is with this bottle. It says it's a sisterhood thing, and ask the nanny. And it says Nannies Enlightening Nannies, and down at the bottom it says Nanny Village Unite, because we are a village. Hi Esperanza. These water bottles are on sale for $35. All the proceeds go to a scholarship fund for nannies and nannies for professional development training and conferences. So if you want one of these, please email me. I'm going to put the link in the comments in just a few minutes. Hi Kelly, how are you? Also, I have a t-shirt. It's not this one, this particular one, but this is a nanny t-shirt. I know we all love our nanny bling, our nanny t-shirts, and how to support our nanny sisterhood. But the t-shirts, they're long sleeve shirts, they're short sleeve shirts, they're multiple colors. Hi Claylee, how are you? And Kelly and Christina, how are you all? The t-shirts are multiple colors. One of them is long sleeve, so those of you who are still going through winter, like we kind of sometimes are here. It's warm today, it's cold tomorrow, so long sleeves come in handy. The proceeds from that also go to the scholarship fund for nannies and nannies who can't afford to go to a training class, or who want to go to a professional development training or conference. My goal right now is to send at least 10 people to National Nanny Training Day. That's the goal for the t-shirt and for this water bottle, for those of you who didn't see it. That's my goal right now, to send at least 10 people to National Nanny Training Day. And I know that between all of us, thousands of nannies, that we can do that. Thank you, Christina. Hi, Nina. How are you? But I would love for us to band together and make this happen, because last year, I was one of those people who just kind of barely scraped by and got to a nanny training day. And because of it, it changed my life. And Ask the Nanny came out of that. So, you all, please give back any way you can. Now, for our first guest, I am going to invite Miss Heather Stillwell. She is with the Pittsburgh Nanny Service Project. Okay, it says, let me see. Let me go over here and invite care. Let's see, Miss Heather. There we go. Let me invite her. See if she will. We can get her on. Okay. Now, it says I can't bring you on for some reason, Heather. Ah, there it is. Let's see. Let's try this again. I tell you, I'm still learning this Facebook Live thing, so you all bear with me. It's connecting, and
Oh, can you see me? There we go. I'm in my
oh,
car.
there you are. Okay. Hi. How are you?
Hi. Good.
How
My
are you
dinner
doing?
ran over, but here I am.
Okay. Great. 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 So, tell us a little bit about yourself outside of the nanny world.
Okay. I grew up military, so when people ask where I'm from, I just say wherever I'm at right now, which is Pittsburgh. But I've lived
Okay, you're cutting out on me.
in India, and I studied secondary education, English, and I taught English for 3 years before getting engaged and moving out to Los Angeles. And when I arrived there, I couldn't find a teaching job that I was comfortable with, so I answered a care.com ad and started my now 8 year nanny career.
Ah,
Yeah,
so it came from not being able to find a job.
kind of. Yeah. I mean, I've always been interested in childcare. I've been a mother's helper since I was 10. I went through a babysitting class that the
Okay.
military offers, so I was able to help. And if you've ever been on a military base, it's a very tight knit community. So I was able
I,
to.
I'm a military wife, so I know.
Okay. Yes.
I've done my time. Yes, I know.
It was wonderful. People ask me, was that hard? And I say, no. It made me resilient. It made me friendly. It made me adaptable. It's a great life, or at least
Yeah,
it was for me.
it is, and it does make you adaptable. It makes you um, what I like to call a gypsy, because every 3 years you're pretty much moving, but you learn how to make friends. You know how to adjust to certain weather and temperatures. Because I live in Alaska.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Alaska. I hate the
I lived
cold.
in Hawaii.
Oh, now that was where I wanted to go.
Yes.
But yeah, but military will do that for you. So tell us how the Pittsburgh Nannies Service Project came to fruition. How did that happen?
So I had been traveling a lot. I was finishing up a travel nanny position in 2015, and I came home to Virginia to crash with my parents until I figured out, was I going to go back to LA? Was I going to work in DC to be close to them? Or was I going to come to Pittsburgh to be close to my siblings and my grandparents? So settled on Pittsburgh, and I absolutely love it here. And one of the things that surprised me was there is a very active and incredibly supportive nanny community here. And
Wow.
there may have been one in Los Angeles, but I didn't know about it. So when I got here and I started working with one of the agencies, it was like I was hooked up with friends automatically and felt so welcomed, and it made my experience so much nicer for a new person in a city who didn't know a lot of people. Um, and after about a year of working here and getting to know people, I started to feel like, okay, I'm settled, but I'd really like to do more. And I am so into my nanny friends. I mean, they're my best friends. That I thought, what better way to give back than to involve them? So it started as more and evolved into not only how I can do something for me, but how I can do something that touches the individual nannies in the community and then the community at large. Um, So the first person who came to mind is a good friend of mine named Nikki. She had a lot of medical challenges growing up, and she was a kidney transplant recipient. So
Wow.
we did a kidney walk together. And I know there are walks, lots of things, but I had never heard of the kidney walk. And another nanny came out, and it was like a light bulb went on. And I said, this is what I want to do. I want to support the people that are closest to me, and those are my nanny friends. So we formed the group, and I think that we thought it would be bigger than it is now. It's still very small. We just started it in, I guess, the ideas really came around in October, and then we officially started a Facebook page in November. And our first endeavor was to make cards for soldiers serving abroad. That was something that was close to
Huh?
my heart, being a service kid. And I think a lot of other people in our community have someone they know or someone in their family. So we had to get them off early so they could arrive by the holidays, and just spread some cheer. So I just Googled, cards for soldiers, and there's a million of them, but we got those off. And so the idea was born that we would do a card party, which I'm totally into. I'm not super crafty, but I love writing letters. I love making cards. Any holiday, any excuse for me to write a handwritten note, I'm all over it. So
Cool.
that's started. Should I
So
talk more
how
about? Yeah.
evolved since the writing of the cards for the holidays?
So after that, we sat down as a group. My co-leaders are Nikki and another nanny named Beth Fabian, who is not very active in the community, but was very excited about doing service. So we thought, okay, not only will we do a card party every month, but let's make this bigger. So um, we did a canned food drive supporting the Greater Pittsburgh Area Food Bank and had a lot of great participation for that in November. And in December, we collected for Toys for Tots. In January, we did a warm clothing drive. And February, we made cards, but we haven't done anything official because we're going to start a team for March of Dimes. And that's our big project
Ah,
for now.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
We want to do even more, maybe get some volunteer groups together, but we're going to continue to do the card parties. We're definitely going to do a few walks. In addition to March of Dimes, there's one in, I believe, June, which is the Pittsburgh Children's Hospital Walk. So we're definitely going to do that. And I don't know why it speaks to me so much, maybe because I'm just a woman, but I have this desire to create necessities bags for women and children that are in domestic abuse shelters. Nikki and I were just talking about this, and we thought, when you have nothing, it doesn't matter where your toothbrush comes from, as long
This
as you can brush your teeth.
this is true. So true.
Yeah.
I, I love your ideas. I love what you're doing. I when you said March of Dimes, it reminded me I was in college and I did that 20-mile walk for the March of Dimes because when you're younger, now I wouldn't even try it. I'm good to do a 5K. I'm good.
That's
So
better than some other
uh,
people, Angela. You're good.
I'm good if I can do a 5K, and it may take me a while to get there, but I'll eventually get there because I'm not walking for me. I'm walking for the cause,
Yes.
and that's the important thing. And
Yeah.
so, do you all have like a website, or do you have a? How can they find you if other Pittsburgh or Pennsylvania nannies can want to join, or can anybody join, or is it just a
Well, I
small?
mean, anybody can make cards, and we've been encouraging nannies to make them with their nanny kids as well.
Oh,
Because getting a card from a kid, I mean, I just can't imagine a nicer thing. Talking to children about giving back, talking to children about awareness of where needs are in our community, and having them participate in hopefully brightening someone's day is a beautiful thing. So if you want to make a card, we have a Facebook group called Pittsburgh Nannies Service Projects. I can type that out at some point in the thread. But you're welcome to join, and anybody can send cards in. If you live not immediately in the Pittsburgh area, but you want to join us for a team walk or do a donation, we'd love that. And we're always welcome to ideas. I'm really excited to hear about what Karen is up to, because ultimately we form the group not just for ourselves, not just for our nanny community, not just for our local community, but hopefully to inspire other people and get this going as a movement. You know, nannies are such amazing caregivers, and I think when you are in a job
Yes.
like ours, you know, it's easy to get bogged down in our day to day and maybe lose sight a little bit of what more we could be doing.
Yeah.
You know, people might say, well, what's a card? But for me, I think that's really powerful. And, you know, the more that we grow, I think the possibilities are endless, and it's
Yeah.
exciting.
A card is personal, and
Yeah.
it is something that, because emails, you send an email every day, you send a text message every day. To receive a handwritten card or a creative card that was just for you, to me that's special. Maybe I'm just overly sentimental, but to me that's special to receive something like that. Someone took the time to brighten my day. You never know whose life you are saving just by
Absolutely.
putting a smile on their face.
Yeah.
So to me that's important.
Yeah, this is
So
one thing I
can
love
you
about, oh, yeah.
go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was just going to say our co-leader, Beth, her passion is watercolor. So she hand paints all of the cards that she makes. And she shows up with a stack every month. And we're just like, oh my gosh, like I kind of want these too, like to put on my wall. But it's so special. I mean, it's like not only handwritten, but it's a hand painted card. I mean,
Right.
it's excellent.
I
I don't
mean,
know if my skills are up to her level, but it's okay.
a lot of us have hidden talents. When you work with kids, I mean, all of us work with kids. There's some kind of artistic something in you, even if you look it up online and do it. There's some kind of artistic something within you that you can make a card. I'm sure you all make Mother's Day cards and Father's Day cards, and look up online, and I'm sure if you just post in one of the nanny groups, how do I make a card? You'll get 50 million ideas of this is what we did, and the pictures and instructions on how to do it. So all of us can make a card. I mean, it's so simple. And do you have a specific address that we send it to?
Well, right now it's my home address. So if you want
Okay.
to message me on the site, I will send it to
Yeah.
you. We don't have a PO box yet. Maybe we'll get
Okay.
one. But I'm happy to give you my home address if you're willing to, you know, make the effort to make a card or give a donation or anything like that. Um, you know, I'd like to think we can trust our fellow nannies. Yeah, I do.
Yes. PM her, just send her a personal message so that, if you want to send a card, if you want to help out in the card party, uh, make sure you get in contact with her. Karen said something. Oh, the Sunshine Snail Mail. Yes, I like the Sunshine Snail Mail.
Karen,
That's
you'll
a
have to tell us about that, or if you know Angela, I don't know what that is.
Sunshine Snail Mail. She has a Facebook page, and I think the cards go to children. I think she was a cancer survivor.
Okay.
I'll let Karen tell you about it because she's coming up next. I'll let Karen tell you about it. I just remember reading, but I read so much lately.
Sure.
Everything's starting to go like this. So I don't want to say this is what it is and then it's not, it's somebody else's something. So
Sure.
I'm quiet and I'll let Karen explain that to you. So, is there anything else that you want to tell us about the service project? Do y'all?
Well, right now, you know, like I said, it's growing and we are very open to suggestions. We've got some projects locally that we want to get involved in. One is called the Foster Love Project. I believe this is a national program called blessings in a backpack for students who need meals or necessary items. We'd like to get involved with that. A couple other things. So, I mean, we are happy to do local and we're happy to do national or international. At this point, we are just so excited about making our group, you know, bigger and hopefully getting other people involved locally. And, you know, like I said, if you're not quite from Pittsburgh, you can still join us. It's okay.
Yes, you can still, and even if you don't want to join them, give back. In some kind of give back. Trust me, your heart will thank you because it feels good when you give. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a giver, but it does. It feels good when you give back. Knowing that you made someone's day, knowing that you made someone happy. It's that I can't even describe it. It's that ooey gooey feeling that's kind of down off in there. Yeah.
It
That
feels like a light is coming from inside you. You know, like we dropped off a bunch of
you.
cards at the VA hospital, the Veterans Hospital, and I felt so proud to just walk in there with these cards and say hello to some of the people that were out and about in the hallways and thank them for their service. And, you know, again, that's a personal thing for me having a service member as a dad, but we dropped cards off at the nursing home and we made cards for kids in the hospital. And it's just, the possibilities really are endless. And for me personally, I think giving money is great, but I think giving of your time or of your effort is even more valuable.
Yes, it is. It's a personal thing. It definitely is a personal thing. So, thank you so much, Miss Heather. Can you please put your group's name in the comments box in the thread so that anybody who's interested in joining you or sending cards or making cards, because we can, could be a project once a week with our nanny kids. Okay, let's make a card for somebody,
Mm-hmm.
sunshine or rainbows or their
Yeah.
favorite animals. I know my kids are into dinosaurs nowadays, so pretty much everything is a dinosaur. So we'll
I
make
would love a
dinosaur,
dinosaur card.
we'll make dinosaur cards because everything is pretty much a dinosaur. So thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for telling us about the Pittsburgh Nanny Service Project. And again, anyone who wants to join, please contact Heather. She's going to put the Facebook page in the comments so that you can click it on and get involved and um, get those cards going with your nanny kids. Trust
Yeah.
me.
And
Somebody,
just friend me. You know, if you want to talk more about how to get something going in your area, like I said, I'm new at this and we're learning as we go, but I'm more than happy to tell you what I've learned and maybe you've got some great advice for me.
yes, because I'm new at this too. I just know I want to give. I know I want to give back. I know I want, because of the impact on my life from last year to this year, it has changed my life. And I know if my life changed and I had no clue about nanny trainings and all that other stuff, all I knew was the INA. I used to be a member of NACY.
Hmm.
So when I went to that training, it was just like, wow. And that's when I got involved with nanny groups. So I, I'm just a living witness. That's all I can say. I'm a living witness that it can change your life. It can change the path at which you're going in your career. Um, there's so much more than what you have in you. That there's so much more in you than what you know you have in you. I was just satisfied just being, I'm a nanny. Okay, that's what I do, and I'm loving it. And when I found out all this training and met all these other nannies that I never knew existed right here up under my nose, it
Hmm.
opened a whole new world for me. So let's get involved.
Yeah, like I said, I would have no friends without my nanny community. Like, I just left a dinner with them. That's why I'm coming to you live from my vehicle because I ran over playing trivia. Whoopsie daisies. Sorry, but it is such a blessing that I'm so lucky to be surrounded by people who, by I don't know any nannies here. I'm sure that there are some out there. If you're in Pittsburgh, nannies, contact me. Let's be friends. But my nanny ladies, like they've been here for me. We support each other, whatever's going on in each other's lives, and hopefully someday I'll get married and they're going to be my bridesmaids. And it's a beautiful thing. So, here's hoping. I guess they're losing at trivia. I'm a valuable member.
Okay, well, get back to them and in your nanny night out. So,
It is. It's a nanny get together night. I actually screwed this up, Angela. Yesterday, I was all set. I had notes written out. I put on some makeup. I wore my hat that said Nanny Life from Stephanie Buckman. I think that's her. Buchanan. Say her name for me.
uh, oh,
The
Boca.
nanny.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Stephanie.
Because
Yeah,
I just want to say, like, support each other. Like, I saw you
yeah,
selling a T-shirt for your scholarship program, and I was like, Angela is awesome. Like, I can always use another T-shirt, and hopefully that money goes to somebody who can't afford to get to Nanny Palooza or INA, or
yeah.
there's even more conferences that I've learned about this year that I never knew existed. And I think just being willing to step outside of yourself, whatever that means for you, I think that is growth.
Yeah.
And as you said, it can be really impactful change for you on a personal level.
It can be. It can be. Thank you so much. And we'll be talking to you later. And be sure you type in the little of your
Well,
well, I almost said web page, your
I'll do
Facebook,
it now.
your Facebook page. And thank you so much again for being our special guest tonight.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for all that you do, Angela. It's inspiring and it is exciting, and yeah, hooray.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh,
Bye, everyone.
it's
Oh,
Pittsburgh Nanny Service Project.
yes.
Okay. All
And
right.
my name is there, so we can be friends.
Okay. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Angela. I'm so
You're welcome.
excited, Karen. I can't wait to hear about your group.
Okay. We'll talk to you later. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to join the card parties that they do, have your charges, create cards for to give away to at the nursing homes or the VA or at the Children's Hospital, please do so and contact Heather. She can give you the information where you need to send them to. And if you want to, you can join the Pittsburgh Nanny Service Project. Now, our next guest is Miss Karen. Let me bring her on. She is with Big Hearted Nannies. And it's connecting. There she is. Hi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So tell us about yourself outside of the nanny world.
Outside of the nanny world, my goodness. So I'm also a postpartum doula and NCS, and I sound like a frog right now. I'm from Scotland originally. I trained as a nursery nurse over there and came over here 32 years ago to work as a nanny. Um, I'm the daughter of a police officer and a nurse, and so I grew up in a service-orientated family, and I've always volunteered. So now we've got this group going, and it's just kind of growing from there.
Great, 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 great. So tell us, what is Big Hearted Nannies?
Okay, so Big Hearted Nannies DMV is a group. It grew from a Facebook page which started off being called Nannies Giving Back. Um, and that was started by Leah Kirk and I. We had a playgroup, and the playgroup used to get together and make blessings bags for a lot of homeless people in our neighborhood. You stop at almost every traffic light in the very wealthy neighborhoods that we live in, and there's always you know, people standing there with signs that say throw a quarter at me and stuff like that. And so, you know, our kids were asking questions. And so we started, instead of just answering questions, putting blessings bags together for them with socks and, you know, lots of travel things that our bosses had left over around the house, gift cards, you know, just like even $5 sometimes, water bottles, and we would hand those out. And then we thought, well, you know, if we're doing that, you know, maybe other nannies would like to do it. And we started a page. We started posting resources. We started posting kindness calendars, other things that people could do. But then we found out Facebook algorithms weren't letting us really reach anyone. And that's why we started the group. And then the group, you know, meets face to face as well. So.
Oh, okay.
That's why it's more localized. That's why we've got Big Hearted Nannies GMV.
Okay. DMV. Okay. I used to live in that area, so okay.
Come back.
No, it's cold.
It is cold here. I know. It's been cold and it's been hot. That's why I sound like a frog. I have such bad allergies. I have no idea what my voice is.
I have a cough drop in my jaw so that my voice won't go away. Because, and I have a glass of water sitting over here just in case I have a cough.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to keep my voice together. I was outside 5 minutes today. I had a full voice, being out there 5 minutes, and I'm like, okay, I gotta go inside because I have no voice. And I was like,
yeah,
I have allergies to hear.
I have no voice when I wake up in the morning. I've been talking all day just so that I would have a voice, like talking to myself, just so that I would have a voice for tonight. And it's disappearing again already. So
okay, well, let me hurry up before it goes. So,
okay.
Tell us about the snail mail you were talking.
Okay, so Sunshine Snail Mail. So part of one of my leaders on Big Hearted Nannies who runs the page is Chelsea Olafson, and she is a cancer survivor, and she helps run Sunshine Snail Mail, which is an amazing organization. They post, if you go on Sunshine Snail Mail's not fanbook page, Facebook page, they post different addresses you can send mail to children who are usually suffering from cancer or some other, you know, awful childhood disease that's a lot of times you don't send them get well cards. There's some guidelines that Chelsea posts, and those are on the page as well about what kind of stuff that you can and can't send to the children. So if you're doing projects, that's a great place to send them because there's different kids showing up on there every single week.
Right.
So that's one place to send them. Oh, my son's watching. Hi, Jalen. I never see you, but hi.
Hi, son. No, I don't see it. You get things quicker than I do.
Yeah.
Mine is on delay. So
yeah.
It's oh, okay. I was reading a comment, but she's talking to him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So tell us, can anybody join Big Hearted Nannies, or is it just a...
Anyone can join Big Hearted Nannies. We just have a localized group for DMV for the people who get together. And then we've got little subgroups that come off of it. Like I have a Super Nannies of Sextuplets squad, SOS squad. And that's a group of nannies who are coming even from as far away as Pennsylvania and all over the DMV. Actually, your guest last week is one of my Super Nannies of Sextuplets. And we volunteer in Richmond for a family of sextuplets. So that's really, really cool. So that's actually sucking up a ton of our time just now. So we're not really like quite on the ball with all of the face-to-face stuff that we hope to be doing in the DMV. I'd be really, really interested to see how Heather's walks go, because that's one thing we're finding isn't generating any interest. We were interested in doing a March of Dimes walk and also doing a Bright Horizons walk as well. It generated no interest whatsoever. So, you know, we're experiencing growing pains. We're trying to figure out what works for everyone, and, you know, trying to figure out, you know, who really has the time to commit as well, because it is a commitment and it is a job.
Yes.
So
yes, I totally agree with you. It is a commitment and it is a job. I totally agree with you, because when you give of yourself and you give of your time and you're doing it along with other people, you have to realize that their priorities are not the same as your priorities, and
Yeah, we're
that
training that.
your heart is not, it's your baby, and you want your baby to grow, and you want your baby to thrive and be nourished, and sometimes other people don't see it as, they say, okay, that's somebody else's child, that's somebody else's baby, I don't have to worry about that. But when it's your baby and you want it to grow, it's a part of you. It's your heart, and you want, okay, come on, people, let's participate. And when they don't, you're like, it's like breaking your heart. It's like you just hurt my baby. So yeah.
Well, we've got a local. We'd love to get more boots on the ground in Richmond. So we've got openings for nannies, doulas, and NCSs on the ground in Richmond. If you'd like experience working with sextuplets. So, yep, and anyone can join the group.
I don't have experience. Twins, I'm good. Sextuplets, there's a lot of babies. I can take 2 of them.
Yeah, it is.
If I got somebody else.
Well, I mean, we go down there in groups of 2 or 3, so there's always at least 2 of us.
Good. Yeah, I could do that. Yes, I can do that. I can do that, but I don't live there, so I'm sorry. I'm not coming back.
Well, I've got people that are actually flying in to stay with me at weekends that come in for the experience. Yeah. So.
See,
because it's so rare. It's so rare to get this kind of experience. Hi, Cheryl.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm waiting for people that are popping up now and talking to me.
Hello, everyone who has come in or just came in, has been for a while. Hello, how are you all? If you find this video helpful, please hit the share button so that other nannies can benefit from watching. So tell me, I know you said Big Hearted Nannies is local, but can anyone in another city have a chapter of the Big Hearted Nannies?
Yes, and we would love everyone to have, we would love every city to have a Big Hearted Nannies chapter. And it doesn't have to be called Big Hearted Nannies. You know, we've got some nannies in the group, like Laura Schroeder. She already has something going on in North Carolina. It's called something different, but she's part of our group, and we all just kind of share ideas. And this is also very new. So we're like a month into it.
Okay. So
just scroll.
Can I join with the, you know?
Absolutely. We'd love to have you, Angela.
Yay.
Yep.
I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but yay.
Well, I mean, we would love to support your scholarship drive. So the other thing we're not about is reinventing the wheel. You know, we're not trying to like copy what other nannies are doing or take away from what other nannies are doing. And, you know, we love your scholarship idea. So instead of us having our own campaign, you know, if you join our group, we'd love to support yours instead. So
okay, I'm in. You don't have to.
Okay.
I'm in. Okay, sign me up. I'm in.
Big Hearted Nannies, DMC.
Yes, Big Hearted Nannies. But I do believe that I know locally the Dallas area nannies. I know that they have. I haven't been able to participate in any because of with taking care of 3 kids and 3 different schedules. I very rarely get to participate, but I do support them in all their efforts and doing outreach programs to and donating things. So it's kind of hard, you know, but like I said, I do support them. I know they have Texas Nanny Network is here too. But I'm not as familiar with Texas Nanny Network as I am with the Dallas area nannies, because I know I have gone to a couple of events with them, and I know that they give back to the community too. So I just want to give them, you know, big shout out. Whoop, whoop. So,
yeah.
But yeah, sign me up.
So there's a lot of organizations that you could get involved with as well. Like Doing Good Together is a good organization if you're with a family. They have a spin-off called Big Hearted Families. Um,
Ah,
volunteermatch.com is a good place to go to find out places that you can volunteer with your kids. Because you can just punch in age groups and stuff like that. There aren't a whole lot of places that you can take younger kids to. Um, in our area, the Greater DC Diaper Bank will let you take young kids to pack stuff up. There's food kitchens that will let you. I think you have to be at least 8 to do that. But yeah, Volunteer Match and Doing Good Together and Big Hearted Families are good places to start
okay.
if you want to get involved with your children.
Okay. Can you type that into the comments? Because I'm
Yep.
not going to remember that. I already know that. So if you type that in there so we can have a place to start, that we can volunteer with our kids. I know when my children were little, every year we would give them money so that they could buy each other gifts or buy grandma and grandpa gifts. And we would go shopping. And one of the requirements was they had to buy a gift for the Toys for Tots. And it couldn't be $1. They had to buy something that they would want to play with. And because I made them, you know, give back then, they're still giving back now. And they have their children do the same.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Yep.
it's an important thing to start when they're little, so they'll know that you're
Mm-hmm.
privileged to have all of this stuff. Not everybody has what you have, and let's give back. Let's be generous and give back.
So the kids that I take care of at my present job give each other things like goats for it's an organization called the International Rescue Site, irc.org or something like that. I can't remember. I'll find it and I'll post it. But it's like, I mean, they have everything. They don't want for anything. So instead, they give their parents presents like they'll give a village electricity for a year, or they'll send a woman to school for a year, which is like $58, or they'll buy a family a goat. And the kids go through the catalog and find all these things to give each other and to give their parents. So yeah, you can get really creative. And then there's like really, really fun ways to get involved with other stuff as well. I mean, don't think everything has to be a walk. So I'm going to show you a picture. I used to volunteer for the Cheetah Conservation Fund.
Oh,
That was a long time ago.
wow.
So I got to play with cheetahs.
Okay, see, how
Like do stuff that yeah, that's a real cheetah.
uh,
So do stuff that you're passionate about.
yes.
I love babies. So when I first came here, I used to volunteer. I used to volunteer with babies. I came in the 80s, and a lot of people were scared to hold babies that were suffering from AIDS. So I used to go into the hospitals and just hold the babies that were being abandoned. So that's really important too, is to find something you're passionate about and that you're connecting with, because you're not going to keep doing something that you don't have any personal connection to,
Right.
or that you don't care about.
See,
So
I love that idea, and I tried that, but my heart broke because I
yeah, it's hard.
volunteered
It's
at a
hard.
children's hospital,
Mm-hmm.
and to volunteer and have the same child every week, and then all of a sudden you go there one week and
Yeah,
they're not there anymore.
it's heartbreaking. It's hard.
And
Yeah.
that the first one, I kind of handled it okay. The second and third one, I knew that was not for me because I cried every time I went, and it's like
Yeah.
trying to hold back tears the whole time I was there.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that the children don't need to see these tears coming out of I'm like, it wasn't that I didn't feel like they would get well. It was
Yeah.
my heart hurt for them so bad
Mm-hmm.
to see them in that condition, to see them like that. It was just like all the empathy in me just burst out all at once, and I knew that I couldn't do that. So I do other things that I know I'm able to handle.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I
I
much
I, I
prefer working
commend
with healthy
that.
children than sick children. But I'm glad because people ask me all the time, why aren't you a nurse? And I'm like, because I don't like working with sick people. I like working with healthy people. So yeah, that's not my bag either.
Right, right. So I mean, but it's, it's a good thing to give back where you know that you're able.
Mm-hmm.
I know I give back at my church. I
Mm-hmm.
volunteer in the nursery. I've volunteered in nursery at church since I lived in Alaska, which was 1992. Yeah, but even before then, my dad is a minister, and we had what we call a Saturday night Bible study. It started with,
Mm-hmm.
and it grew to over 450 babies on up to adults, and I used to take care of the babies in the baby room and at the Bible study, and it's always been my thing. So I've always been just volunteering with kids and volunteer with kids because kids are my calling. But I also know my limits when it comes to, I can't stand when the kids I take care of, when they get sick.
Mm-hmm.
I literally, it's like I feel them. And I just want to spoil them. And I'm like, okay, so if you spoil them now, you know what's going to happen. You know exactly what's going to
Mm-hmm.
happen. But they're so sweet. And then they start milking it out of me. And then because when they get well, they start, oh, but I'm still sick. I'm still, and I feel so sorry for them. And it's like they break my heart. And I'm like, okay, 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 okay. So I had to break myself of that and go into this mode of, okay, you're taking care of them, you're getting them well, you're giving them extra attention, and now that they're over the hump, let's try to get
Mm-hmm.
towards the schedule of what really, where you want them to be, and keep them independent during that time. But it's hard to do. I promise you. And I know it probably is just me that feels that way about children. But yeah. So Big Hearted Nannies, you can start your own chapter in
Yeah.
your city doing what.
Your own chapter. You can join ours for ideas.
Okay,
But
great. Now, is there anything else you want to tell us about Big Hearted Nannies?
no, I think we've covered all the basics.
Alrighty.
I don't know. We're pretty new. Check back in 6 months. Maybe we'll have a lot more to share.
Great, great. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, if you have any ideas and want to share them of how we can all give back, how we can give back to our communities, how we can give back to each other. Uh, some people love pets. Volunteer at the pet shelter, at a vet, at a vet. I can't even get it out of my mouth. Anyway, volunteer to work with animals. I'll put it like that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep. And actually, and that's somewhere you can't volunteer with kids, but we've made those little naughty blankets, the flannel
yeah.
ones that you just tie knots in and take them there. So there's ways to get around places that you can't volunteer with kids.
Oh, good.
You can still think of other ways to
And
give
if
back.
there's some place that you want to volunteer, call it out.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
that's, all you can do is ask, how can I help? And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it costs, the most of the time, it costs you nothing except for your time. And
Yeah.
time is valuable because some of these children, their time is limited. Some of the people that we work with, their time is limited. So give back and help out. And, whether it's homeless at the homeless shelter, with the children at the children's hospital, if you're doing the March of Dimes, if you're doing the a 5K walk for whatever purpose it is, give back. And that's all we have for our volunteer Nannies Give Back. Next week, we will have Laura Brawley here, and she will be talking to us about the art of saying no. I am one who is learning how to say no to a lot of things, especially in the nanny world. And when you have to stand up for yourself and not, be railroaded, because I see so many of my nannies who don't know how to handle situations and how to get themselves out of it once they're deep off in it, and ask for help. And it's hard. Trust me, I've been there and I've done that. It's hard once you get in it and you feel sorry and you get guilted into something. And yeah, so Laura's going to tell us about the art of saying no, how to strategically get out of those situations that you find yourself, kind of stuck between the rock and the hard place. So also, don't forget the t-shirts, the water bottles. Here's the water bottle. Toya, yours will be there tomorrow. And who else won last night? Melissa and Haley. Your water bottles will be there tomorrow. I had these specially commissioned for a fundraiser. So, ladies, I will post the announcements again so that you can get that information. And we will see you all next week. Bye-bye.